The rain hammered the tin roof of our family's crumbling bungalow in Southside Chicago like it was trying to drown out the lie I'd been living for years. Tobias, I can't do this anymore. I'm gay, and I'm leaving for New York tonight. Timothy spat, his voice cracking like thunder over Lake Michigan, eyes wild with the freedom I'd never tasted. In that split second, as he slammed the door behind him, I realized the brother I'd bled for, the one I'd hidden my own truths to protect, was the knife that finally cut me open. I was 12 when Dad walked out, leaving Mom with a stack of medical bills and 2 boys who barely knew how to tie their own shoes without him. Timothy was 8, all wide-eyed wonder and that mop of blonde curls that made strangers coo over him like he was some golden retriever pup. Me? I was the sturdy one, the fixer, the kid who learned to microwave Hot Pockets before I learned algebra. You're the man of the house now, Toby, Mom would say, her voice frayed like the hems of her nurse's scrubs, as she collapsed into bed after double shifts at the hospital. I nodded, swallowed the lump in my throat, and started bagging groceries at the corner store after school. Timothy? He dreamed, drew sketches of skyscrapers and superheroes in the margins of his notebooks, his laughter filling the house like sunlight through cracked blinds. By high school, the lines were drawn. Timothy shone like a damn beacon. Teachers called him Prodigy. Scouts from art programs in the Loop whispered about scholarships. He was the kid who painted murals for the community center, his colors bleeding hope into gray concrete walls. I watched from the shadows, my knuckles raw from stocking shelves at the warehouse, my back aching from hauling Mom's laundry up 3 flights when the elevator broke again. College? That was a fairy tale for kids like Tim. I dropped out after freshman year, community college tuition ate our rent money, and Mom's lupus flares meant more ER visits than birthdays. Go chase your stars, little brother, I tell him, ruffling his hair like Dad used to. I'll hold down the fort. He believed me. Hell, I almost believed it myself. That's when Alex came into the picture. It was a sticky July evening at a neighborhood block party, the kind where Polish sausages sizzle on grills and kids chase fireflies under string lights. I was nursing a lukewarm beer on the stoop, wiping grease from my mechanic's hands. Extra shifts at the auto shop kept the lights on. When he wandered over, all easy smiles and faded band tee under a Cubs cap. You look like you could use a real drink, he said, holding out a flask with that Midwestern drawl that hooked you before you knew it. Alex Rivera, 24, bartender at the dive down the block, with eyes like polished oak and a laugh that cut through the humidity like air conditioning. We talked for hours that night, about everything and nothing. The Bears' lousy season, how the L train rattled your bones at rush hour, the way Chicago winters clawed at your soul. He didn't pry about the grease stains or the shadows under my eyes. When he brushed my hand reaching for a sparkler, electricity zipped up my arm, hotter than the grill smoke. I'd known I was gay since I was 15, stealing glances at the lifeguards at Montrose Beach, but I'd buried it deep. In our house, love was survival, not some rainbow parade float. Mom clung to her rosary like a lifeline. The church ladies whispered about family values over Jell-O salads. Confessing, that would have shattered us. So I stayed silent, sacrificed the parts of me that ached for touch, for truth. But Alex, he saw through the cracks. Our first real date was a stolen afternoon at the Art Institute, Timothy's favorite haunt. We wandered the halls, his fingers grazing mine in the shadow of Hopper's lonely diners. You're more than the guy who fixes everyone's messes, Toby, he murmured by the Chagall windows, the stained glass painting us in blues and golds. I kissed him there, tentative at first, then fierce, like I'd been holding back a flood. It was messy, real. His stubble scraping my chin, the faint taste of coffee on his tongue. For the first time, I felt seen, not just needed. We built something quiet, fierce. Late nights after my shifts, he'd wait on my stoop with takeout from that greasy taco joint on Halstead, trading stories until dawn. He knew about Timothy's big break, the full ride to Pratt Institute in Brooklyn, the going-away party Mom threw with dollar store balloons and a cake that said, "Shine on," in lopsided icing. Your brother's got the world by the tail, Alex said one night, his head on my chest as we lay tangled on my thrift store couch. When do you get your turn? I laughed it off, but his words lodged like a splinter. My turn? Keeping the family alive didn't leave room for turns. I paid Mom's meds, covered Timothy's art supplies when scholarships lagged. Love was a luxury, but damn if Alex didn't make me believe in miracles. The betrayal hit like a southbound wind off the lake, cold, unrelenting. It was 2 weeks before Timothy's flight to New York. I'd come home early from the shop, grease still under my nails, dreaming of surprising Alex with tickets to a White Sox game. The house was too quiet, Mom at her evening shift. I heard them before I saw them. Voices low and urgent from the kitchen, the clink of beer bottles. Timothy's laugh, sharp as broken glass. You think Toby's straight? Come on, he's been mooning over that bartender for months. But he won't say shit. Too busy playing martyr. My stomach dropped. I froze in the hallway, heart pounding like a busted piston. Alex's voice, soft but edged. That's not fair, Tim. Your brother's carrying the weight of this whole damn family. Maybe he's scared. Scared? Or selfish? Timothy shot back, and the venom in it sliced me open. He acts like the big hero, sacrificing everything so I can shine. But what about me? I see how he looks at you, and it kills me because if he comes out, Mom falls apart. The church, the neighbors. We'd lose it all. He's trapping us in this lie to keep his precious control. I stumbled back, the world tilting. Betrayal? From Timothy? The kid I'd lied to teachers for. Forged notes so he could skip rehearsals and chase his dreams? The one who'd cried in my arms when Dad left, promising we'd always have each other? And Alex. My Alex, defending me, but still there, in my kitchen, spilling my secrets like loose change. I bolted outside, the screen door banging like a gunshot. Rain started then, a late summer squall that soaked me through as I ran to the L station, the elevated tracks humming overhead like judgment. My phone buzzed. Texts from Alex. Where are you? Tim's freaking out. We need to talk. Then Timothy, Toby, I didn't mean. Please. I powered it off, hopped the train north to the lakefront. Waves crashing against the rocks like my rage. Hours blurred. I ended up at Alex's apartment, a walk-up in Wicker Park with peeling wallpaper and a view of nothing but fire escapes. He opened the door in sweatpants, hair tousled, eyes red-rimmed. Toby, God, don't. I shoved past him, dripping on his rug. How long? How long have you two been? What? Plotting my coming-out party behind my back. He winced, running a hand through his hair. It wasn't like that. Tim cornered me at the bar last week. Said he knew about us, saw us at the museum. He was drunk, spilling his guts about how trapped he feels, how your sacrifices make him guilty every damn day. I tried to shut it down, but he gets it, Toby. The fear. He's gay too. The room spun. Timothy? My shining star, the one who'd dated cheerleaders in high school to fit the mold? He hates me for it? I whispered, sinking onto the couch. Thinks I'm the villain, holding him back. Alex knelt in front of me, hands on my knees, steady as an anchor. He's scared just like you. But he's not wrong, you've been carrying this alone too long. We all have. His thumb traced my jaw, gentle, pulling me back from the edge. I love you, Tobias, not the martyr. You, let me in. Let him in. I broke then, sobs racking me like the storm outside. We held each other through the night, his whispers weaving through the thunder. Promises of mornings without secrets, of parades we could walk hand in hand. But dawn brought clarity, cruel as Chicago fog. Timothy's flight was that afternoon. If I didn't face this, I'd lose him. Not to New York, but to the silence we'd both fed. The climax crashed on that rooftop, the one Timothy had painted a mural on for his senior project. A swirling galaxy of dreams against the city's jagged teeth. Rain lashed us as I found him there, duffel at his feet, staring at the horizon like it owed him answers. You followed me, he said, not turning, voice raw. Always have. I stepped closer, wind whipping my jacket. Heard you last night. Every word. He whirled, face pale, eyes stormy. Toby, save it. My voice cracked, but I held his gaze. You think I sacrifice for control? For glory? I do it because I love you. You idiot. Because when Dad left, you were the only light left. And if coming out meant losing you, losing Mom's fragile world, I'd bury myself 1,000 times over. Tears carved tracks down his cheeks. mixing with rain. But it's killing you. And me pretending shining for everyone but us. I hate it, Toby. I hate that your love feels like chains. The words hung, heavier than the storm. Conflict boiled. Years of unspoken hurts. The weight of a family's fractures. I grabbed his shoulders, pulling him close, our foreheads touching like when we were kids hiding from monsters. Then break them. Together. I'm gay, Tim. Have been forever. And I'm tired of hiding. For you, for Mom. For this godforsaken city that chews up dreams and spits out bones. He shuddered, a sob escaping. Me too. God, me too. We clung there, brothers in the deluge. The skyline blurring into forgiveness. No grand speeches, just the truth. Love wasn't sacrifice alone. It was sharing the load, even when it bruised. Timothy stayed that week, deferred his flight, sat with Mom over coffee and confessions. She cried, clutched her rosary, but didn't shatter. My boys, she whispered, hugging us both. You've always been my miracles. The church ladies gossiped, neighbors side-eyed, but Chicago's pulse kept beating diverse, defiant. A mosaic of hidden hearts finding their way. He left for New York a month later, but not alone. Alex and I drove him to O'Hare, the three of us belting Springsteen on the Dan Ryan, windows down, wind in our hair. At the gate, Timothy hugged me fierce. Shine with me, big brother. Your turn now. I watched his plane climb into the clouds, Alex's hand warm in mine. Back home, I enrolled in night classes, mechanic certification, a step toward something mine. Mom's lupus eased with better insurance from my raises. We hung Timothy's sketches next to Dad's old photo, flaws and all. It's not fairy tale perfect. South Side still grinds, winters still bite, and some days the sacrifices echo like ghosts. But in the quiet hours with Alex's breath steady beside me, I know. Family isn't about shining alone. It's the shadows we cast together, the love that endures the storm. And damn if that doesn't feel like the real American dream, raw, resilient ours.